Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Fanatic Sports Podcast, episode 42. We're excited. It's a big day. It's entitled The Language of Champions because I got my man KJ from the Sports Language here with us today, man. But a pleasure to have you with us, bro. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I respect it, man. A content creator reaching out to another content creator, man. I'm just grateful.
Man, I just got off the phone with a very big time. Well, she's more than a content creator. She's definitely a full-fledged journalist, and it was really dope to kind of connect with her. And one of the things that we talked about was the importance of us connecting together, man. Like it's rare that you get that opportunity. Unfortunately, for a long time, a lot of the old heads in this industry. And they are fading away now, but a lot of the old heads in this industry don't know how to share and create space for others. And so they would, I remember long ago when I got into sports advertisement, actually, not just journalism, but there were folks who it was just like that. They did not want to share. They did not want to offer space and creative space for others, the young kids. And so, a lot of kids for a long time were having to interning is natural. It's part of, any business that you run. But like one of the things that, at least you could get the opportunity to let someone take you under your wings and show you the ropes and help you cut your teeth and make it not be as bad as it was when they started. Right. We too often in life outside of sports, the sports arena of all, we spend too much time dealing with I'm going to let them do everybody like they did poor old me, right? And so for me, that was having this space and kind of some of the mediocre success that our podcast has provided us, man. It's cool to have the opportunity to network with guys like you and that are also doing really dope things. And if there's anything I can do to help, man, and look, I'll say it now on air, and I'll tell you again in the DMs and everywhere, man. Like if I can help, dude, this is what I want to do. And so, that's my goal. That's my job, is to be able to help people. I realize that, and I'm really thankful for that opportunity. So, and again, man, thank you, because I know you've got great content and a great crowd and a lot of great eyes on you. So it's a blast to get to do this with you, man.
Thank you, man. That means a lot, man. And what's your name again? Besides Fanatic
Blocker.
Sports? Blocker, man.
Yeah,
Thank you,
man.
Blocker. All right,
Yeah, look,
appreciate it, man. Because when I reached out to you, I wasn't even expecting a response. And when I got that, I was like, man, that means a lot. And it's interesting not to get on this topic, like you said, with
sure.
you having a tough time with you coming up, looking into internships, sports advertisement, and how it was you just trying to shadow somebody. And man, it's like not trying to, whoever's watching this, not
Right.
trying to you know, hurt anybody's dreams or admirations. But me,
Sure.
man, I just graduated at Florida Atlantic University, broadcasting, journalism, mass media communications. Man, I had so many high expectations. Okay, I get a degree once I graduate. It's on to the internship. But man, it was hard getting them internships. It's like now it's like you can't even get an internship because when you apply, they expect you to have 4 to 5 years of experience. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm coming in y'all for that. So now
For
it's
that
like in this
experience,
day
right?
and
Yeah.
age, yeah, so it's like now in this day and age, Blocker, now it's like you gotta be a content creator. You gotta have something in your hand to push down these people's door to see you. It's not even about your degree's not even good enough, pretty much, which is sad to say. But don't let that hurt you, man. Don't let that hurt you while you're going to college. So if you're going to college, still do that. But if you can do content, do that as well. So, but yeah, man, I hear what you mean, man. Not people not willing to share or not put you under their wing. But hey, man,
Yeah.
I'm just grateful for this opportunity.
Man, look, and that is exactly what I had in mind. And long ago, man, just to give you a little background about me, because I started in the sports advertising world, so I don't even have a degree in this stuff, man. Like,
Right.
I just enjoy talking sports like the rest of the world, and I've got an opinion, and thankfully I've got an opportunity to express it. But what's amazing is, like I said, while not even having still cutting my teeth on a lot of things, I was kind of at the forefront of understanding, like, hey, this content creation has got to be the way that you do it. And so it one of the dopest things that happened. I did get an opportunity to make friends, and some of my work that I was doing got across the desk of the sports journalism professor at the University of Arkansas. Shout out to Ricky, wherever he's at, man. I know he's probably doing amazing. He actually he was like, "Yo, your work is great, but you got to tell the story. You know, you've been telling the scores, tell the story." And from there, it kind of inspired the work that I did for not just it started with the minor league football team. The minor league football team had a coach that asked us to come broadcast for his high school. The work I did at the high school. Someone saw the work I did at the high school, a partner of mine, and he had me working. He got me connected with the college. And so, you know, it just kind of went up from there. Of course, after COVID, I kind of lost the ability to do that sort of work. But in its stead, this content creations kind of came out of it. And I say all that to mention that time working at the high school. While working at high schools, I realized that exactly what you said. In the sports broadcasting world, you get a ton of people who don't have you got a degree. You've gone to school for all those years. You've done that hard work. Everything that they said you're supposed to do, now you have to do. You got to go out and still beg for work. And thankfully, with the internet, technology becoming more accessible, and social media, it's been really cool to say that, look, I don't have to just wait for ESPN or CBS or all these big time places to cover you.
Right.
You can go do it yourself. And so one of the things we were able to do while working at the high school was we were able to provide that work for kids who wanted to be able to do it all the way down to high school even. But, you didn't have to wait till you graduated. You could come work with us, and we were able to pay you because of the advertising we did. So it was, it was really, really great to have that opportunity, man. And so, I'm glad to hear that your story is one that I think is going to be really special. Just checking out all the work you do, and even with just doing it on your phone, doing it, in your car, everything. Yeah, man, like one of the things I learned in sports and film production in general, not just sports production, but film production, is the importance to turn on that camera. Say what you got to say, man. Don't ever be afraid. And I love how you speak without fear, man. It's really awesome to get to check that out. So
thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Real. Like when you reached out to me, man, it made me proud. I ain't gonna lie. it warmed my whole heart, bro.
Yeah, man.
So you're on the West Coast now, is that right?
Yeah, man. I'm on the West Coast now, man. Over here, man. West Coast time. Still getting used to that, but hey.
Well, look, man. You got some great things in the future, man. I'm just, don't mind me. I'm multitasking. I'm sharing this, and I was gonna say, you definitely can share the live broadcast to your people as well. We are currently on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. We're live everywhere, man. So you can share that broadcast, and it'll go to, you can share it to your fan base, and then they'll be able to jump over and see it as well. So right. So pretty excited about that, man. So look, before we start on all the shenanigans, definitely. So I call it the Fanatic Sports Podcast. Fan is short for fanatic. Fanatic is a synonym of crazy, or as I prefer to call it, passionate. So for me, it's super important that is your fan story sometimes is what makes or breaks your fandom. Right. And so that's why we like to start with that. If everybody comes on, tell me your favorite team. Doesn't matter, baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, football, whatever you prefer, your favorite team, and tell us how you got there. How did you end up being a fan of your favorite team?
All right. So first block, I want to say, so me being born and raised in Miami-Dade County, me personally, like, okay, my favorite sports is basketball, but I'm not like a Miami Heat fan. I don't have no favorite NBA team. I have a favorite NFL team, but I'm gonna start with the first team that I actually fell in love with, and that was, Miami Hurricanes. Like, yeah, me growing up, like I didn't really know how special the city was. I didn't know how crazy the type of city I was born in until I got to middle school, like the type of neighborhoods I grew up in, Dade County, you know what I mean? Liberty City, Care City, Opelika, Rules, Homestead. I'm starting to see like my city not like these other cities,
Mm-hmm.
South Beach. Then I come across because I have a grandfather, his name is Lewis Watson. He the one that got me into hurricanes, I'm not gonna lie. I remember I
Okay.
got my first Hurricanes hoodie. It was like the old school. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was a duck or ostrich. I'm like, what type of mascot? But I was feeling it. Like, it was like, okay, I used to wear it every day. And then I came across this documentary called 30 for 30, the U. So
Yeah.
when that came on, I was like, whoa, like I didn't know the backstory. Like the U sucked at first. Then you had Howard Snellenberger
Mhm.
came in and he went to the inner cities to recruit all these players, Michael Irvin, the Benny Blades, Al Blades, the Blade Brothers. Then you hear
Yeah.
about Jim Kelly. Before Jim Kelly, you had Kozar. I'm hearing about all these great players. Then the U part two. Then, when the U Part 2 came out, I'm like, okay, this is different. This is 2001. This is when I was born. So you got like
Facts.
Ed Reed came in. You got Sean Taylor, rest in peace. You got what's that dude? You got Clem Portis. Then you
Mm-hmm.
got Willis McGahee. Then you got Andre Johnson, Entre Rowe. So I'm like, okay, this is different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like this is like, okay, that what made me a Hurricane fan. Miami.
Yeah.
Then not even just that, but just the city of South Florida. Like I have a pride because I feel like if it's not, you got the three states, you got Florida, you got
Mhm.
Texas, you got California. Those three
Yeah.
states produce the best football NFL quality. And I'm in
That's
one of these places, like where I come from, even though he's kind of controversial, but Antonio Brown, like I said, all the other hurricanes that came out, or players that came out of South Florida, period. I mean, for me, it was Devontae Freeman. I never get when he came out. James Cook, Dalvin Cook. Like, I'm like,
yeah.
okay, this is a bubble. So that made me feel like, man, like, I'm a Hurricanes fan. The only thing that made me sad was when I came up in the era, like my time, is
Mhm.
my granddad had told me it's too many colleges now. Back in the day in the 80s and the 90s, you only had like at least three Florida colleges. Either you was
Yeah.
going to UM, Florida State, or the Gators. Now you
Yeah.
got FAMU in the mix. Now you got
Yeah.
UCF. Now you got USF. So now
Yeah.
that's taking all of our prospect scouts. And it's like, dang,
Mhm.
so now we can't really recruit hard as we used to. So it's kind of like halted. Like it'd be few seasons would be up and down. It made me
Sure.
sad because I'm like, man, we ain't been up in so long. But yeah, that's what made me a Hurricanes fan for sure.
Well, look, bro. So the fun thing, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I love the U for a lot of different reasons. There's a few connections. So I'm from Arkansas. I'm from Little Rock,
Okay.
and so in Arkansas, actually, you talked about the U Part One. You saw Jimmy
Mhm.
Johnson.
Yeah.
He went to Arkansas, and so
Mhm.
he actually won a national championship at Arkansas in '64. The only one we've won in football. He won it. He was part of that team. And so, an outstanding coach, man, an outstanding human being as well. And so, I felt the connection with the U, and I just love their swagger. But and it's interesting you talk about being in that as Stellenberg called it, the state of Miami, right? And so
Right.
that was such a dope time. And there's a ton of great players out there. So let me ask you. We'll go off topic a little bit. Talk to me a little bit about what Teddy Bridgewater was doing at high school, and your thoughts on kind of what's going on with Teddy Bridgewater right now.
You talking about like right now, what recently happened, or back when he was
Yeah.
playing?
No. Well, no. I
Oh,
mean, just talking about right now. Him working at high
okay.
school and that sort of
So
thing.
when I heard the news, I gotta look more into it. I'm not gonna lie, but when I
Sure.
heard the news, I just want to say too, I respect what he did. I ain't even expected to make it to the state championship. I ain't gonna cap. I was kind of hating because I ain't see the reason why he would coach. I ain't think he was gonna be good enough. I'm like, yeah, like bro, your NFL career's over. Now you want to coach, but it was about giving back. Now, when I heard the news, I think it's BS. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't
Yeah.
even see why. Like, because if anything, he's paying out of pocket, of course. You know what I mean? Like, you do what you got to do. Like, he's not the first and he won't be the last. It's not like he was being a booster paying kids. You know what I mean? He
Right.
was paying out of pocket in terms of equipment. Really, because if you know Northwestern, like if people watching this, if you know Northwestern, Northwestern don't really got it like that. I can
Right.
be wrong, but Northwestern, like, they won a lot of state championships. So you know how the saying goes: you win games, you bring in money. But
That's right.
Northwestern is still in the inner city. So all the stuff that Teddy Bridgewater was buying and equipment, I heard it was nearly to like a. I don't want to throw their name in the mix because they're controversial too, but they up
Sure.
there. Like if we had to compare to like a prep school, like a
Mhm.
IMG or one of
Yeah.
those preparatory schools, he was buying that type of equipment for these kids that they never seen, like recovery equipment, all those things. So just
Okay.
because it didn't go through the paperwork, which I
Yeah.
don't know who dropped the ball on that, because if I'm not mistaken, Teddy did say in documents he was trying to get funding. The funding
Right.
didn't come through. So hey, if I'm sitting on a couple of million, I would do the same thing too.
So I
Why not?
mean, yeah. So and you know what's crazy, and I'm glad you said that about IMG. So like I said, man, I've been around these old head writers for a long time. One of the ones who I actually took a lot from is a cat. He's a Hall of Fame guy here in Arkansas named Wally Hall. Shout out to Wally
Okay.
Hall, man. Wally Hall. He always said, if you ever want to know who told, follow the dollars. That'll tell you who stands to gain the most from this entity being brought down, right? So, like for
Mhm.
instance, to give you an example, and he used this during the example of when they were trying to kind of investigate a little bit and see who would told on Auburn about the thing with Cam Newton, right? Cam Newton got in some
Okay.
trouble.
Okay.
And this is what he brought it up, and I hope I'm not misquoting, but he always said that you follow the dollars there. Who stands to win from it? And you just said it.
Uh,
IMG was the premier preparatory academy in Florida, if I'm
right.
not mistaken. They still are,
Uh-huh.
right?
Still are,
So
yeah.
if you've got a guy that comes in and starts, putting that same effort into these inner city schools instead of letting IMG take them, and look, it's right on brand because you talk about the U. That's what Howard Snellenberger did. He was not afraid to go in to the inner city of Miami and get these uber athletic kids who may not
Right.
necessarily have the best
Right.
grades or the best tech or all that stuff. So it's good to see that, and naturally following that, one would think that IMG might have been first on the list to tell us, right? On what Northwestern did. Shout out to Baker Mayfield while we're talking about it, because he went in and I think he spent like $1 million of his own money, right? Like right after he got
Ah,
signed, he spent money on. I want to say, was it? No, it wasn't Northwestern. It was a school in Tampa who was
okay.
needing money funding to be able to do that. So I mean, like, man, it's I think about that, but it gets very competitive in that world, in the high school football world, and especially down there in Miami where you are. Let
Yeah.
me ask you one. Let me ask you one more question about the U in particular before we move on, because I want to say you said you had another fan story to tell, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Cool. So before you go there, it's a debate, and I plan to make content about this, and I might pull you in for it when I do.
All right,
Um,
for sure.
so I'm living in Baton Rouge now, so I'm right in the heart of LSU,
You
basketball.
is.
I just shared the link to my church men's ministry. So there may be a few people, maybe a few eyes from Baton Rouge on right now. They'll pick me
Yeah.
up later tonight. But man, look, I said there. So LSU had arguably one of the best college football seasons in 2019. Joe
Oh,
Burrow and
yeah.
that professional football team that they were putting on the college field every week. And they wrapped it up with a dominant championship win. I believe they
Uh-huh.
beat Clemson by 30, something crazy.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are saying that may be one of the best the best year in college football, and it may
I see
well
where you're
be.
going with this. I see where you're going with this.
But the U, and I
Mm-hmm.
know a lot of folks down there in South Florida definitely have something to say, man. When you think about Miami for all those years, and again, they were another group that were just putting pro teams on college. Who was it? Greg Olson talked about this. I mean, Antrell Roll
Yeah.
and Sean Taylor and Willis McGahee were on special teams because that's where we were in that's how much talent, that's how deep The talent
Deep.
was in
Yeah.
the 2000s. Man, and to cap it off with a championship the year that they did, man, like, tell me, I feel like I know your answer, but tell me, do you feel like it's Miami's championship year? I think it was 01 or the 2019 LSU team. Which would you pick as the best college football season?
All right, I'm gonna try to be swift as I can from a
Okay.
personal and bias. Bias, yeah, of course. I feel they go with regardless, right? Because I'm a
Yeah.
fan, right? Now let's do from a factual point of view. Now, if it was factual, like I always tell my people on the content on sports language, I'm gonna give you a little bit of opinions, a little bit of facts. So facts first, then opinions. So I get the bias out the way now.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. Let's talk about facts, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, our best return man, any return man in the league, I think answered the same question.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame I forgot his answer. He like the best return man, and then Andre
Yeah.
Johnson said the
Answer.
same thing. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
On another podcast with them
Mm-hmm.
dudes, with Clark and them. It's no debate. I feel like if you're a football fan, yeah, I got to give credit to where it's credit due with the 2019 Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and maybe I'm wrong for saying this, but I don't even know who else was on that team. Honestly, like the Hurricanes was too deep. They were
Yeah.
so deep. Onto Road even said we don't. My favorite quote what he said in the documentary. He said we don't. He said we don't something. He said we don't scout. We reload. Like that says it all.
Yeah.
We don't have to
Yeah.
scout. We
Yeah.
just reload. This man said, Andre Rose said himself, he said we had Willis McGahee that year. We
Yeah.
had Vince Wilfork. We
Yeah.
had who else? Sean Taylor. We had Kellen Winslow, even though he had
Uh,
his case.
yeah.
And guess what? They all set the bench. They ain't even start.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm about to say Willis McGahee was like the third back. They were using Willis
Yeah,
McGahee as a fullback at that point, because
yeah.
he was behind Frank Gore and Clinton
And
Portis. I
Clinton,
mean,
yeah.
that team had more that school year had more Hall of Famers than some college programs have total. Like I'm
Right.
talking about that level of talent was impressive, man, for sure. So real quick, tell me your next fan story, man. Because I think I know your other favorite, your pro team, if I'm not mistaken. I saw some jerseys. Yeah.
So my favorite second pro team, it was because I moved there actually. Shout out to my mom. So one day my mom tells me, and it's crazy because I've been watching him. I just wasn't a fan yet. Cause
Yeah.
I was just like,
Yeah.
So my mom, I was in the back. We was in Homestead. So we in the back room and my mom comes to pull me out. She like, I got a job in Pittsburgh. We're gonna have to move. I'm like, oh man. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I guess we're gonna have to move then. So we move up there in the area. We didn't stay in the city, we stay outside the city, just like
Okay.
15, 20 minutes. And even outside the city, it's all I see is tiles. All I see is this is still the country. So I'm like, okay, they're pretty serious. I go to my school. The school don't play with it. You see, when you open the door, everybody has that tile. So I mean, it was just that sense of environment. That's the year, if I'm not mistaken, and I came there at a bad year too. It was pretty disappointing. Like I came around like 2017, and
Okay.
that's when Saxonville was on the rise. But ain't
Yeah, that's
nobody
right.
really think we was gonna lose that bad. Like I
Yeah.
can remember, like even at the apartment complex we stayed in, they had this like whole lounge, in the leasing office. They watching it. I mean, it was just so many sad faces that day. I ain't even expect us to get blowed out that day, but from that day forward, I was like, okay, I'll stick with the Steelers, especially with like the history of the Steel Curtain
Mm-hmm.
when they
Yeah.
won those multiple Super Bowls all those years. Mike
Yeah.
Webster.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so much history, especially when you go to Heinz Stadium, which I'm embarrassed to say I never got to go. I didn't do it yet. Yeah, I gotta go there. But
Yeah.
just that's the history, man. Like once you put on that jersey, once you know what I mean, have the feeling of the city and the spirit behind you, man.
Mm-hmm.
It just won't let you go. I mean,
Yeah.
especially those years before I moved there. You can even say those years like 2015, 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
We should have made it to one of those Super Bowls. If it wasn't for that Saxonville, like that we lost, or I believe the year before, that's when AB had got ran off by that dude. I think it wasn't Pac-Man. I think it was somebody else,
It
probably
was
was.
Vontez Burfict. Vontez Burfict.
Yeah.
Who,
And
who, who,
then
who is one of the most hated in the AFC North players of all time.
Yeah, and then what else? We had lost against I think the Broncos that year
Yeah.
because then the
Yeah.
Broncos had
Tennessee.
made it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tennessee.
we were so close so many times,
Yeah.
especially when we had the triple B's,
Yeah.
Big Ben, AB, my main man, the
Bell.
running back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon
Yeah,
Bell.
man.
Yeah.
We were so
Man, look,
close to it. Martavius Bryant, I feel like don't even get the credit he deserved just because of weed. Don't smoke, guys, but still, that was my homie. Like
right.
I was like, as long as y'all keep Martavius Bryant and AB together, we're gonna be good. Then the year that I moved, yeah, man. Then the year that I moved over there, I remember the year after it was a debacle. They had made me mad because Martavius Brown didn't feel like playing no more. Oh no. Le'Veon Bell didn't feel like playing no more. He like, y'all not paying me no money. Then AB was like, oh, I'm gonna stick with him. I'm not gonna play today. That he just started. So yeah, man, it's kind of hard being a Steelers fan now. But then it was
Yeah.
that one year, not to stay long on it. I think it was like what 2021. We went
21.
what nearly
12.
12-0. Yeah, then
12.
we lose to the Browns. I'm like, bro, this is ridiculous. Yeah, but
Yeah, bro. It's definitely, man. Look, I've been a Steelers fan officially since 2015 is when I kind of I guess came out of the closet about it. But for a long time, and you wanna know what's crazy? And this again, that's why I have everybody tell their fan story, man. Because so for me, I became a Steelers fan in '04, and ironically, my brother's calling me. When Roethlisberger came out of college,
okay.
it was him, Eli, and Eli was number one. Ben went, I think it was number 11, and then Rivers went two. Rivers went two, and Ben went 11. And folks were kind of comparing, talking about would it be Eli would be the best, or would it be Rivers, or who's the generational talent? And I said, hey man, have y'all seen this Roethlisberger guy? I mean, it just so happens that I worked in hotels for a long time, so I watched a few Maction Thursday night Mac events, and I saw the Miami of Ohio games, and this dude he is balling out. But of course it's the Mac, so we're not thinking what we're thinking. But he's coming into maybe one of the most perfect situations with an outstanding running game with Bettis and Deuce Staley in that offensive line. He's got a great defense that they just needed a quarterback, and they had a down year, and they got to pick 11, and they took Roethlisberger, and he was perfect for him. And his legendary Hall of Fame story is as Tomlin would say, doesn't need my endorsement. So he was, and so I secretly wanted to became a Steelers fan because I like being right more than I like being happy. But after that, man, I got to say I told you so a few times, but when it really became real for me, I didn't realize it. I was rooting so hard for him until we lost to the Packers in 2011, 2010. And so, look, man, we already won in 08, right? So,
Right.
And we're back in the Super Bowl in 2010, 2011. And so I've ordered my favorite chicken. I've ordered my favorite pizza. I even went and bought my favorite beer. And so I get back in the middle of the third quarter, and we're watching this game. And as this all unfolds, the fumble and everything that happened, it's just like, man, that really sucked. And then something hit me out of the blue. It's like, wait, am I a Steelers fan? and so ever since then, man, I rooted hard. And so then, like in 15, I joined a couple sports groups where we talk. And actually, I sent this link to those sports groups where we talk. So shout out to the Sports Zone. Shout out to everybody. A lot of my friends that are Steelers fans that are probably checking this out now, man. That when they were saying, I was like, yo, I like the Steelers too. And they're like, come on over here, brother. You one of us. So man, but I love the way sports brings people together, man, and it's a blast, bro. So, but very very dope, and to get the opportunity to live in it. I too have not. I also have not had the opportunity to go to Pittsburgh. The chances I've got living in Arkansas for so long were slim, and the one time I was going to get the chance to go and take the fam and everyone. It snowed. It snowed in March of all times, and so the whole Eastern Seaboard was frozen over. So we ended up going to Atlanta instead. But hopefully soon. Actually, I think my plan, because the draft next year is in Pittsburgh, And so I think we plan
Oh,
to go up
okay.
for the draft. So let me know if you're trying to roll, bro. I'm flying Southwest, but man, look, we got some deals. So we're gonna make something shake for sure, man.
Hey man, yeah, man, for sure.
So look, going from the pros of the for, as a Pittsburgh fan, let's talk a little bit about the preseason. Oh shoot, wrong one. So tell me if there's we open it up Thursday night, which I'm very happy about. Oh, am I working? I'm not working. Yay! So I've only caught some of the preseason games in the highlights, and then some of the preseason games in spurts because I'm usually working those days. But talk a little bit about the schedule going into week 3. Aside from the Steelers and Panthers, we'll get to that. Is there any other game that you feel like might be fun to watch or somebody that you want to see?
I think what's gonna be fun to watch, not only just for myself, but
Yeah,
also like content wise, because they so like highly regarded. You know how like the algorithm be.
yeah,
So I'm still wondering who's gonna because we can get on the Steelers later, but
yeah.
I'm wondering. So it's between the Rams versus the Browns and the Jaguars and the Dolphins,
Okay.
maybe the Raiders and the Cardinals. So I gotta watch. So first, I'm gonna get on the Jaguars and the Dolphins. It's the
Yeah.
people going whoever watch this. Like I say, y'all can debate me about it because that's my catchphrase. Uh,
Please.
pe- yeah, people going because when I talked about this guy and I have my opinions about it, you have one side saying I agree, then one side saying I disagree. One dude came at me saying you don't make any sense because he was confused because I was like contradicting myself, which I already know what I was talking about. So the Jaguars and the Dolphins I'm gonna watch because I'm gonna see how they gonna use Travis Hunter again. I'm gonna see if they're gonna play him or they're gonna probably hold him out till the season starts. But either or, my stance and the reason why I want to watch that game, since thank you for showing that schedule to
Yeah,
remind me, is
yeah,
because it doesn't make sense to play this young man both sides. I don't care what anybody says. It'd be idiotic. It'd be liability. I always tell people if I was hired as a GM, like I won't say I'd be the best, but I study other great GMs. And
sure.
bro, like I would do the best I can. Like some of these GMs, I don't even know how they be getting their jobs. Cause it just doesn't be making it don't be making any sense. Like the type of money they be giving out and the way
Right.
they be having these, even though this probably goes to coaching. So I can't really go to coaching. I want to know how to coach, but certain things just wouldn't sound right to me. Like I'm not gonna have this young man just coming out of college facing grown men on two sides. You're gonna burn them out. The liability of Travis Hunter getting injured is on 10. You
Yeah,
can't even argue with it.
yeah.
It's too,
Without
you know,
question.
yeah. So I always tell people this. It makes sense. If you look at the greats, when you look at somebody like Deion Sanders, who he was under, when you look at somebody like a Richard Sherman, who I said multiple times, if you look back, Richard Sherman, believe it or not, he played wide receiver in high school
Yeah,
and
that's right.
college a little bit at
Yeah,
Stanford.
for 2
But
years.
he said, yeah, but he
Mhm.
said in his interview, he told his coach, keep me on defense because I already had the mindset of a wide receiver, but now I also happen to play on defense because I know what that wide receiver is thinking before he does it. I already know his tendencies. So
Yeah,
Travis, he was nearly already, if I'm not mistaken, when he went to JSU, I believe he was already the number one defensive player coming out of high school. So I
yeah,
don't know why you want to play both sides so bad. Like I seen a quote, if I'm not mistaken, he said, oh, that's no more football if I don't get to play both sides. Like it's not that deep, bro. Like you're
yeah,
getting paid money still. I don't
yeah.
see the purpose.
And the most interesting thing, and you bring up a really good point about this, is that he's only getting paid for one. He's getting paid the same amount of money for one side of the ball, not two. And
Yeah,
when I think about it from that standpoint, and come contract time, he's gonna have his agent is gonna want to if they do play on both sides. And I know their head coach, Coach Liam, was saying that they wanted to play him on both sides, and I think he could. I'll say that I think he can play on both sides, but I see your point when you say that to not play him on both sides because it's so damaging, especially this early into his career. We
right.
actually a couple weeks ago, shout out my man D Jones, who does training down in Mississippi. He played at Ole Miss. He was a cornerback at Ole Miss, and he talked about the heartache that Travis is going to go through being on both sides of the ball. Because one of the things, and I don't know, I've never thought about it this way, but when you're doing both sides of the ball like he's doing, that means you got to deal with two coordinators. You got to learn two playbooks. You got, and that's a lot for. Look, some kids can't learn one playbook. Right?
I ain't even think about that part. Yeah, playbooks.
When Bones brought that up, man, that really did change my. You learning two professional playbooks. You know, Jamarcus Russell didn't study the one that he was given. You know, they questioned Kyler Murray about his studying the one that he was given. So imagine having to learning two different languages, basically, when it comes to and two mindsets from the different coordinators.
Right.
And you know, only to play half the time in the league. I wonder, is it worth all that? Like you said, it is it worth all that? Hey, shout out to Nutty Sports Talk. He says rise up Atlanta. And so, kind of getting back to the preseason, I wanted to kind of talk about this because it was interesting to me. The team that I'm interested in seeing is the Falcons. So what they've done on defense this year in the draft and this offseason is really, really impressive. Picking up Walker, of course. I believe that James Pierce Jr. is going to be a phenomenal addition defensively and a presence that's going to spend a lot of time around opposing quarterbacks, and not in a polite way. That dude, and I know that there was a little bit of a character issue and character flaw that they brought up during the draft, and the draft has a way of bringing out the dark in everyone.
They do, yeah.
But I think all in all, that type of mindset that he has, look, some of that's not even necessarily true. All of that's alleged. But I do know that you can tell in his play that he is a angry, frustrated, chip on his shoulder type of pass rusher, and we love that. You know as well as I, you've seen, if you studied Steelers history, you've seen some great pass rushing.
Yeah,
that's something we love. So I'm excited for that, and with the Falcons, and you add that to their defensive backfield and what they already have, I think they've got some really good pieces that are going to make them good. And then, of course, they spent a lot of draft capital for years, first round draft capital on their offense. So now I think their defense is going to match, and it's at a perfect time where that NFC South is wide open. The Bucs probably are in the NFC South. I'd say the Bucs are probably the incumbents to win it all, that division. But I think the Panthers will definitely have something to say. I'm sorry, not the Panthers. I'm sorry, the Falcons will have something to say, and they should make a lot of noise. So I'm super, super excited about that the preseason. So tell me, so far, have you had a chance to watch any preseason games from the Steelers yet?
I have. I watched the one against the Jaguars. I watched the couple of other clips from them. Like I said, for the Steelers, so far, like I just said in one of my videos, I love their defense so far. The defense has really done it for me. You know what I mean? And it's not even all our starters yet. You know what I mean? It's not everybody hasn't made the cut. So I feel like our defense has really stepped it up, attacking the ball, blitzing, coverage. I feel like they've been doing pretty good. Our offensive side of the ball, I'm still hold out on them. Mason Rudolph is still cool. The other guy, I believe number 17, I'm still cool on him. Yeah, I'm still cool. Like, they're not making me feel encouraged. Like, I believe in them. But I feel like the defense makes me feel secure. I feel good. Like, I feel safe with that side of the ball, but not the offense. Not so much. It depends.
Yeah. So I tell you what, man, I'm definitely going to I'm probably going to throw you in an Instagram because I want you to network with a lot of the really great writers that I've come in contact with. Shout out to one of them, my man Freezy Sports. We were talking on so I don't know if you've been following. Last week we did, or on Sunday we did our draft order game show. So we're hosting a Fanatic Sports Podcast Fantasy Football League. Shameless plug.
Okay.
So and it's a content creator type league. It's meant to drum up content for us. And it started on Sunday, where we had a game show to determine who would be the number one pick. And it was my man Freezy Sports. Shout out Freezy. But we were talking. Freezy's a Broncos fan. And actually, my other co-host who wasn't able to join today is a Commanders fan, and so we've got a bet going, and the bet is will the Commanders have more wins than the Steelers? And so right, exactly. And so, look, man, and I'll tell you, I wasn't happy with our offseason, just to be completely honest with you. I really like Minkah Fitzpatrick, but the facts are the facts that Minkah Fitzpatrick is past his prime and he's not playing well. And to be fair, Jalen Ramsey's probably past his prime too, but he's still dominating games.
Okay.
Same thing with Darius Slay. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. These guys are past their prime for sure. They're not.
That's a fair statement. Yeah.
But I think, look, you can put a dollar on it that Mike Tomlin is guaranteed for 9 wins every season. If you put on a Steelers jersey by week 17, you're gonna get to you win 9. That's just guaranteed. And so, man, like that's a guarantee. So then when you add competent quarterback play of Aaron Rodgers, he may not be the guy he once was, physically, but when you add competent quarterback play to that, to Mike Tomlin's his ability to motivate and to, I think 10, 11 wins is easy. Now, I don't know that we're going to win the division. I don't know that we're going to win a playoff game. I won't bet on any of that. I just really feel like that, I think we'll win 11 games, and I feel like that, by comparison, the NFC East is going to be a dogfight. And that was another team I was interested in looking at, man, is that the Giants, obviously that quarterback competition is going to be interesting. I don't think they're going to start Jackson Dart out of the gate. And so then you're looking at Russell Wilson, who I think can be good for 4 or 5 games. You got Jameis Winston, who can win you 2 or 3 games, and then eventually they'll lose enough and turn it over to the rookie and let him finish the season. But in the midst of that, I don't know if you got a chance to watch the Giants versus Steelers last year. That Giants defense is scary, and then you add Abdul Carter to it. Right? Yeah, that Giants defense was already scary, and then you add a premier pass rusher on top of that, opposite of Brian Burns, opposite of Kayvon Thibodeau, who I'm glad they didn't trade, opposite of Dexter Lawrence. We're talking about one of the best front sevens in all of football right now.
Yeah, as of right now,
and that's the bottom of the division, right? We know that the Super Bowl champions are going to walk in with a champion swagger. We know that the Commanders are feeling great because they got the Rookie of the Year coming back and taking the helm at quarterback. And then look, let's be honest. As much as I hated, again, I was not happy with our offseason, but these were necessary moves. And George Pickens going to the Cowboys was great for us because that means that we got more draft capital for what should be a loaded quarterback draft.
That's true.
Also, that's perfect for the Cowboys because they got their number 2 option, who's going to be really, really good in Dallas. I played with the Cowboys. That's the first team I played with on Madden. I just wanted to see what they look like. And dude, they got some pieces over there. Now, if Schottenheimer has half a brain, they're good. And everybody stays healthy. That's a 10-win team.
Right. But I'm glad that you said that because honestly, I never really thought of it like that because I'm the type of person, and it's crazy. I got caught up in the names this season. Person, growing up, especially with older people around me, I don't really care for names. The names sound good, yes, but if they can't play or if they don't have any like the chemistry. So I thought the Steelers offseason was pretty good besides the quarterback. But then again, you do got a point. Like, we do got to see what DK can do on the offensive side. Then we got to see what Jalen Ramsey, if he still got his step, but he may have lost his step. For me, my doubt is the quarterback problem. Because then, like, when Justin Fields went away, I was pretty frustrated because I'm like, he young. He still got a good 4 or 5 years in him. So I'm like, okay, we lose him just to get Aaron Rodgers. And it's like, we seen what happened. I was there. Well, not in the stadium, but I was like watching it as it happened. Yeah, like when he got injured the first game with the Jets, I'm like, bro, this can't be happening. So I'm like, we get him. And I'm like, So it's like, let's just say we do good this season. And then let's just say we make it to the playoffs. Who's to say Aaron Rodgers, okay, I'm throwing in the towel. I tried it all. Now we back at the drawing board with a quarterback, which I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that. So you do have a point. Like there's still hope at the end of the tunnel with this cap space. So you got a point.
So, and that's the thing I'm thinking is that, you know, and that was everyone's, you know, rebuttal to me is, well, what if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt? Well, if Aaron Rodgers get hurt, look, we've won 10 games with Kenny Pickett as our starting quarterback, right?
Yeah.
We won 9 games with Duck Hodges as our starting quarterback. Let's not continue like Tomlin's strong point is developing quarterbacks, right? So I mean, his that's what makes him such a great coach is in the face of terrible quarterback play and awful offensive, you know, coordinatorship, we've still managed to not have a losing season. I don't too often brag on that because it's not that impressive to me. But let's be real. Like if Aaron Rodgers got hurt, we'd probably end up just playing Will Howard and we play Manila offense and let that defense be great. And by the way, how wonderful was it to see Derek Harmon get that sack? That was fantastic for me, man. I was really
it was.
So really quickly, man, because look, we've talked, and I didn't realize how long we had gone, man. But and so trust you'll be back, man. Like I'm definitely rocking with you, bro. So I definitely want to bring you back for sure. Really quickly, talk to me a little bit about college. This week zero.
All right. Yeah, I was just looking at the schedule too. Week 0.
Very, very excited about it. So, you know, it's an empty slate, not too big a slate to start. The big games, of course, will be in week 1 and week 2. But this weekend, look, first of all, hey, college football is back. And, you know, you're from the South. You
yes,
know,
man.
It's a religion, you know, pretty much everywhere we go, man. So super excited about getting back into the atmosphere, the tailgating, etc. And I'll tell you something to be interested. The game that I looked at, those other games are going to be okay. I think Kansas should be interesting. Looking at their new quarterback, I think that Stanford should be interesting now that Andrew Luck is their CEO or general manager, whatever they're calling it. But the one I think that is the ranked opponent, the ranked game, which will of course be in Ireland. Kansas State is a really good football team. They got some playmakers out there that were really good last year. And obviously, as stated with that number 17 ranking, Iowa State brings back Rocco Bellinelli, their incumbent at quarterback. And this dude he's a so one thing about Rocco is that he's not a major like as far as arm talent, it's not that super impressive. He's not the fastest guy. He's not even the biggest guy. But one thing this dude is a winner. And his leadership skills are super impressive. I think about when I watched him play against Iowa last year, and you know we're talking about the biggest rivalry of the year for them, right? That level of leadership in what was essentially a dogfight. I'm talking about a real dogfight. Really impressed me about Rocco. And of course, now the difference is last year he had 2 pro athletes, pro receivers that were lining up on the outside. And so the question this year is, what will he do without those guys that have gone on to the NFL? But I think this is going to be a big game, and especially when you add the out of country adaptation to it, it's really, really going to be interesting. And I'm really excited to see it. And again, like, I mean, to be fair with you, and that's what I thought. Iowa State did end up coming back in the fourth quarter and beating Iowa. I was looking it up, man. I'm talking about a back and forth hell of a ball game, bro. So tell me a little bit about are there any games that you're looking at for week 2 that you feel like are going to be something you're interested in?
Well, first I want to get this out the way because I was confused. I thought, but who knows? Maybe it's week 1. I just want to put it out there. Florida State's not beating Alabama. If that's week 1, that's not happening. And it's not because I hate Florida State, which I do. That's just not going to be. It's something magical going to have to happen. That'll be an upset. But in terms of right now, what I'm looking at, so Iowa State and Kansas State, I'm ready for that too. My money's on Kansas State. Another game that I'm looking into that'll be interesting. I think I would have to say Fresno versus Kansas and Idaho State versus UNLV.
Yeah.
But in terms of that first one, yeah, Iowa State versus Kansas State. My money's on Kansas State, Iowa State. First of all, these are two underdog teams. You know what
Yep.
I mean? In different conferences. They're not representing SEC. They're not representing ACC. They're
Right.
representing like the Big 12 or Pac-10, something like that. I don't want to be wrong.
Right.
So, um, I'm gonna put it on Kansas State, and the reason why is because I feel like Kansas State, like I mean, both teams. I'll put it to you like this: whoever's watching, both teams have chip on their shoulders. Both
Yep.
teams are going to be broadcasted on TV, so both
Mhm.
teams has a chance of putting their school back on the map because Kansas State ain't really been too hot for a long time. Iowa State, I never really I don't even. There's no disrespect for them, but I don't even
Right.
know what Iowa State is good for. Like, are they a basketball school? Are they a football school? So that's why I was like, for them to be ranked, this
Right.
can be a chance to be like, all right, we ranked, we on TV. If we win this game, it's possible that we could do more because now the playoffs had went from 4 teams to possibly 12 teams, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
I mean, this can be a big thing. So I like the underdogs. I like root for
Mhm.
the underdogs. So this would be a good matchup, good thing to see. The only thing that, which everything's about money now,
Of
but
course.
the only thing that I don't respect, I won't say I don't respect, but I don't see the point is taking a flight all the way to Ireland just to play some game. I
Yeah.
don't really.
Listen, man. Like you said it right at the top, man. It's all about them dollars, and so there's nothing these people won't do for them dollars, man. So that'll tell you everything you need to know right there. Is that is
Mhm.
for the dollars. But
Right,
I'm excited about it, and I like you. It's gonna be a good matchup, man. I know that Kansas State's got a great coaching staff.
right.
And so I'm putting my money on Iowa State because their defense, they got a linebacker that is talking about a playmaker. And they lost, but they have lost a couple pieces. So you might be onto something with that.
Right.
Well, look, bro, man, I really appreciated the time that we spent, man, talking and just, kind of catching up, getting to know each other as well, man. I definitely want to thank you again. So look, before we go, man, tell everybody about your content creation and the podcast and things you're doing and where we can find more KJ in sports language.
So you can find me, man, at Sports Language, man. Just right there. Sports Language. Look it up on YouTube. On the road to 1,000. You can find me on Instagram, sports_language. And hey, man, I'm just a guy that, with me personally, what I like to do is I like to respect others, respect other opinions, and I'll put it to you like this. I tell people like this all the time when you watch my interviews or watch my videos. It goes like this: if you got an opinion, debate me about it. If you
Yeah,
don't if you disagree with what I say, debate me about it. If you don't like what
yeah,
I say, debate me about it. And me, man, I'm bringing that debating element, not to get into my childhood. I'm gonna keep it swift. But growing up, whether it be middle school to high school,
yeah.
looking up to Stephen A, Skip Bayless, um, all those people, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
Doris Burke, Craig Sagar, all these people, commentators, analysts. But where I really own my craft was really like in the classrooms, was really in the corner, was in the
Yeah.
lunchroom. We not really just talking about numbers. We debating, we going at your
Right.
neck. Like, man, this team, my team, you know what I mean? Like I put my money on, you put your money on it, and it was still respectful. So that's the type of energy. And that's what I'm bringing in into this, I guess you could say, the YouTube generation of sports
Yep. Yep.
analysts. So if you guys really want to debate and not be so factual, even I'm gonna bring the facts. But the best part is me giving you my opinions and telling you how I feel about it so it can back up the facts I just said. And like I tell people, you got something to say, put it in the comment section. Or other content creators, man, you invite them, we can talk about it because it'll make it fun, it'll make it debatable, and also you can see other perspective. Because I'm not going to say things just so you can be like, oh, he just saying that because
Right.
it makes sense to say it. You know what I mean? I'm saying it because that's
Mhm.
how I truly feel. You know what I mean?
Right.
Would it be your favorite athlete or your favorite team? So that's what my content, like I said before, is sports language, man. Capital SPORTS space L capital LANGUAGE on YouTube. And then you got sports_language on IG. You can follow me, man, KJ. And thank you, Blocker, man. Thank you, man. I respect you. And you made this happen, man, for Sports
Man,
Fanatics, man. And,
listen,
and I appreciate it. And more to come, man. More to come.
yeah, lots more to come. That's for sure, man. Well, look, as always, man, we certainly thank everybody that's joined us today. Everybody in the comment sections, everybody in the views, man. We can't say thank you enough for what y'all do. And as I always say, tough times don't last. Tough people do. Thank y'all for watching the Fanatic Sports Podcast.
Thank you, man.
Yes, absolutely.